All right, so hi everybody. Just a quick demo of how to sketch out your letters once you've drawn them on paper. The next step, I hide these, the next step from taking your paper sketch is now outlining the letters and shape in Gravit. So I have a separate shape for the outline and a separate shape for the letters. There's two things that I kind of want to introduce, which is how to draw curves and how to draw letters that have holes in them, because there's a bunch of letters like B, A, P, O that have holes in them, and we haven't really actually gone into that. So to make a drawing, to make a new one, you would just make a new design, and then you don't have to put anything in the size or height. It's going to just give you an infinite canvas, they say. So it's just totally infinite, and it goes on and on and on forever. So I will just hit create, and then I will place my image by going import, place, image. I can also copy and paste. All right, so I'll go back to and find my picture and place it. So when it places, this may be really big, so I may have to zoom out. This is a pencil sketch, so things I can do to make it easier to trace. I can go over to color adjust and kind of turn the contrast up, and that will kind of make the outlines pop more, and I may have to turn the brightness down. But it just creates a bolder line. I also was pretty heavy with the pencil. And now I kind of skipped a step in my sketch. I did not put the boxes around each letter. So when I'm sketching, when I'm doing my digital drawing, I'm going to add the outlines as well. So two things. I'm going to start with the C because this is a perfect demonstration of how to do curves. I'm going to use the pen tool like we have been using. And now the traditional way with the pen tool was you just click and move and click and move and kind of go around. And now I'm going to add an outline. And I'm kind of stretching the outline all the way out to the edge of the butterfly. And I'm expanding that letter a little bit. So there's the benefits of doing the click and move are that it's very easy to do. The only issue is, if I fill this with black, the letter doesn't look that nice. It looks very chunky and rough. If that's the look that you're going for, that's fine. But there is a way to make it smoother, and that is to use curved shapes with the pen tool. So I will hide this version of the C and show you a newer version. So to draw curves, the pen tool has two features, right? If I click and move, I just draw straight lines. If I click and hold, it makes these little handles, and then the handles, I can stretch them out to make them very strong or just a little curve. But they kind of can control the amount of curve. So again, if I want to adjust that curve, I can make this curve bigger or smaller by adjusting the handles, or the middle point will adjust the middle point. So for example, the letter C, there might be some corners that I want to keep. So I'll keep the corners at the top and just do simple clicks. But then anywhere that's like curved, I will kind of do a point at the beginning of the curve, and I'll stretch it out until it's about right. And then I'll move along until I'm about halfway through the curve, and I'll stretch it out. And now I'll kind of click and hold, and this is a small curve, so I want a small handle. Now there's a little corner here, so I'll just click halfway through the curve, click and hold, click, click and hold. So anywhere that I just do a click and hold, we'll get a curve. So if I want a corner here, oh, I'm not done yet. I want a hard edge here. So this is a nice big curve here. So I'm going to put a handle at the beginning of the curve, in the middle of the curve, and then at the end of the curve. Now the only issue is it naturally wants to make this a symmetrical curve. So what I need to do is take this little corner and, oh no. I'm going to take this handle and just shrink it way down. And now it kind of has an edge on one side and a curve on the other. So if you look at these two kind of next to each other, this C I made using only maybe like 10 dots. There's way less dots. It's way smoother. And compared to, for now, compared to, why do you want to do this to me? Compared to this C that has more points and looks way more jagged. So if you put the two next to each other, you can kind of see the difference. So for those of you who want to have like bubble letters, or script, or cursive, you're going to have to really get used to working with curved points. The only other thing I want to demonstrate, I don't have to use curves for all these letters, but I do want to demonstrate how to do like letters with holes in them. So I'll focus on this letter A. What I will do is I will kind of roughly draw the outline using the letter A as an easy one because it's all straight lines. So I don't need to do that many curves, except maybe right here. And then corner. So I've got kind of like the letter A, but I need to draw that hole in the middle. So to do that, I'm going to kind of hide this fill for a second, and I'm going to just start a new triangle in the middle. So I have both of them. I have this triangle here, and then I have the bigger triangle next to each other. And if I click on either one of these, you can see that it automatically switches back and forth. But in order to select both of them at the same time and combine them, you need to use the Shift key. So I'm going to press and hold Shift and click. And now it's allowing me to select both of these paths on the thingy here. And then I'm going to go up here to my little box connect tool. It's called the compound shape. And there's a button called subtract. If I click this little down arrow, there's union, subtract, difference. I'll have some examples of that later. But if I just hit subtract, and then I turn the fill back on, you can see that now it's created a compound shape out of those two separate shapes, and it's kind of removed the one from inside the other. So that is how you do letters with holes in them. So I would need to do that for the B, at the A, and if you have any sort of O, Q, P, anything like that, that's when you're going to need it for. So that is how basically the steps are that you just continue through tracing all of the letters, and then you would trace the outline shape and then put the two together to get something like this, and then I would hide that final photograph. And next class, I'll show you some special effects, but I kind of added a little shadow to make it pop out.